the offseason, you talked to us about how much time you put in and kind of reinvented yourself in the kicking game. Just does it pay off when you see results like this tonight?
Oh, definitely. You know, if anyone watches me on the sideline, I have my duct tape on the ground, I have measuring tape out, and I just try to be like a robot. And it really does start in the off season, developing a good foundation. So if I know where I want my steps to be and what I want my technique to look like in the off season, when I get to the season and big kicks, I can just kind of get outside my body a little bit, just rely on, you know, my mechanics and not have to think a ton. And hopefully the balls are going straight through. And, you know, thankfully this season, I've had a lot of kicks where the balls are going right where I want them to, but definitely building that foundation kicking wise, but also physically, and, you know, making sure I'm feeling good. And I talked earlier about hurting that ankle last season. You know, it does mess up, you know, all your lifting, all your sprint work. So when you do come back, you're like struggling to hit the ball as far, but I'm feeling good. And, you know, thankfully the balls are going through.
Is there anything that you changed mechanic wise, footwork wise, even sort of like you told us before about where you aim your foot for the ball on a single?
Right. I think I really had to be okay with my technique looking different. I used to skip downfield a lot, so I would plant with my left foot and then skip, you know, maybe at a 45-degree angle, a couple feet downfield. But now, you know, I don't really skip at all, and if I do, sometimes it's straight to the left or almost a little bit backwards. And, you know, it's not, you know, perfect technique, but the balls are going through, and as a kicker in year 7, I'm not trying to, you know, be the best looking technique kicker there is. If the balls are going through, that's what I'm going to do, and I've had to adapt and evolve. But, you know, I still got a pretty decent follow through with the right leg, but, you know, I'm just not skipping downfield as much. But, you know, that's really minor stuff. At the end of the day, are the balls going through? That's the most important.
You've kicked obviously game winners in the Super Bowl. You've been doing this for a long time. What's the feeling like when the ball's midway in the air and the crowd sort of lets you know?
Well, normally the crowd doesn't let me know, you know. I'll know before the crowd, or I should. But it's been a lot of fun, and it's a blessing to be able to play with the Kansas City Chiefs where, you know, we have a great coaching staff, great team of guys, and we're fortunate enough to win a lot of games. So I've been put on this pedestal where I am kicking big kicks, and it's nothing to do with me as a kicker. It's just I'm on this team, and I'm getting the spotlight a lot of times. And, you know, it's just a blessing as a kicker. You don't really create kicks, right? You just are given chances to go out there, and hopefully you produce and do well. But I never would have thought I'd be an NFL kicker now going on 7 years and still, you know, kicking the ball and feeling good. So just very thankful.
Harrison, the 60-yard field goal. Just walk us through the process on that one. Did you even think you'd get an opportunity because there was 15 seconds when you guys got possession and then all the wind going on?
Right. In warm-up, I made a 65-yarder with some room to spare, and Coach Tobe loves banging big field goals at the end of the half or end of the game, but our offense is so good, we normally get a short field goal or even score a touchdown. So a 60-yarder was definitely, or 61-yarder was definitely in our range, and going towards that tunnel, the wind was at my back. And, you know, thankfully it just went inside that left upright, went through, and, you know, it's just something we practice, and we try to be the best we can leading up to the game so that when we get to the games, it just feels smooth and like we're in a rhythm.
So 65 yards was your range to that end?
65, you know, I don't try to kick a ton of balls in warm-up, so like in past seasons, I'd go back to 70, 72, 74 yards to see what my max was. But this game, you know, I made from 65, okay, probably could make from 68, 69 or something with the wind. But, yeah, made 65 in the warm-up.
Given that you said you alter your technique a little bit, it's a little bit different, did you feel like you needed to see a good streak to start the season, just mentally to have confidence that this was going to be the best way to go?
You know, that's a good question. I never think about streaks. You know, I always say every kick's a big kick, and I really try to focus on just one kick at a time. But, you know, streaks definitely help for confidence, and you feel good. But I think the way I've approached pregame warm-ups and practice, I'm hitting less balls, and I'm just trying to be mentally confident going into it. Boom, I can make a big kick without having to warm up a ton in the net, you know, warm up, you know, on the uprights before maybe I'm kicking with the team. It's just trusting, you know, my mechanics and just going out there. So I think I probably came into this year just more mentally confident, not needing to kick a bunch of balls. And because of that, my legs feel better throughout the game and throughout the season.
Harrison, it seems like you and Tommy are always the first ones to know when the ball's going through. When did you know that 60-yarder?
Not until it went through, because that one was flirting with the left upright, and I knew the wind was a little left to right, so I was hoping it was gonna, fade to the right a little bit, and it did. So very thankful on that, and just want to give a little shout out to Tommy, who was struggling with the left knee, and the fact that he played, man, he could be the holder, and that helps out me a lot to have someone that I'm familiar with that does a great job. And I definitely would not have had this game most likely if we brought in, a different kicker or different holder, different punter.
Were you ready to punch if Tommy?
Wow. It's not good.
Oh, were you ready to punch if Tommy couldn't go today?
I don't think they would have asked me. We had some other things in mind potentially, but I punted in high school. I'd rather just not even have to go out there and, do that on the NFL stage.
So how much does having a holder you trust go into your process?
Oh, he's like my caddy. I can tell him exactly where we want to aim, where we want to have the laces, what lean we want, and I know that his holds are really good. He's familiar with James, if spinning the laces if he needs to. You just are a lot more confident when you have a guy that you trust and has been there and done that.
Harrison, your defense got a sack with 22 seconds left. Were you surprised that the Broncos took the timeout to give you guys a chance?
I'm trying to replay in my mind, but normally during the games, I'm not even really paying attention to what's going on. I just know we try to get the ball and get long field goals if we can. So I probably was warming up in the net or warming up, taking my steps when the Broncos still had the ball, just in case, we got the ball back. All right, thank you.